Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, the video today and possibly the next few videos are going to be on this 2007 Mercedes ML 320 CDI. I don't know if I'm going to record all the issues on this. As you can imagine, recording etc. it slows down the repair process. The guy is now on a rush to get his back, so I believe we have time, but I have other cars, so just in case if I don't record everything, I'm not going to tell you all the issues the car has. For that, stay tuned and you will see. But I'm going to try to record as much as I can. Now, a little bit of the background with this car very quickly. The car was bought in auction by a friend of mine. He's a mechanic and a very good friend of mine, and he did. But as I said, he's a mechanic. He struggles a little bit on the electrics, and all the issues the car came to me now are pretty much electrics. He got a lot done to it, and I'm not going to take you through, but I just tell you that the first problem we're going to tackle on this, because I'm going to have the car running here, etc, etc, and there is an issue with the suspension. So the suspension was that the car was completely dropped, and this is the Airmatic, the air suspension. The car was dropped and would not raise. So he traced it down to, so the compressor would work plugged into 12 volts but would not run connected to the car. Then he found a relay board somewhere that was burned. I repaired that board a couple of weeks ago because he brought it to me. He found a lane at the back completely burned. I was actually to record that, but it was so simple that I thought there was no point. But yeah, it was a board that I believe, because the compressor has been running constantly, it actually burned a trace on the PCB. I got that repaired and the compressor is running. Once he got the system running, he found a leak on one of the bags at the back. Replaced both bags, and now the car is up, it raised, is okay, but the compressor doesn't stop. And that's the first thing we're going to tackle, because he said to me that the compressor doesn't stop. Well, it stops, but it stops with a fault, saying overheated or running for too long, I don't know. Anyway, that's the issue, and because for the other issues we're gonna have the car here running, etc. I don't want to have that compressor constantly going and ended up destroying the motor. So what we're gonna do is tackle that. So the first problem we're gonna tackle, that's what this video is gonna be about. It's gonna be for the suspension, for the Airmatic suspension. Let's gonna try to figure out what's wrong with it, why the compressor doesn't stop. There is no leaks. The car has been here since yesterday. I just checked around the car. The car is all okay. It's all leveled. It didn't drop. It possibly dropped a few mils, but nothing that is really noticeable. So yeah, we're going to plug the maxi sys, give it a good scan, and try to figure out what's wrong. I haven't started the car yet today. There is another issue. Well, I'm already telling you. I want to check something on live data before I start the car. There is a starting problem with this, but that will be for another video. For today, it's going to be the actually suspension. Okay, and let me turn ignition on and scanning the car. We do have, whoops, recovery time during filling of the air suspension. Strut is too long, so there we go. So he's basically telling that the compressor is running for too long. Now, coming to my head, the first thing I think I'm gonna do, even because the car obviously was not running okay before, come on, crazy, and he had the airbags replaced at the back. I think the first thing we're gonna do, I moved the car already slightly to get the car leveled. The car was leveled anyway, but one of the wheels was a little bit on a bit of concrete here on the side. So now all the four wheels are at the same level on the ground. We're going to try to do a level the suspension on this. I'm going to try to take you through. So let's gonna do it. And yeah, see if that fixes my issue. But let's gonna look at some values first, see where the car is. Because it could be that the car is trying to put the car to a level that is not achievable. And obviously the compressor just carry on running. Try to lift the car to that level, whatever that might be. So let's gonna have a look at the numbers and see what we have. I think before that, you know what I'm gonna do. Let's gonna do some tests. This usually works quite well. So we're going to test every single one of these. Okay, if they all come back okay, then we'll be doing the initial startup. And the first test, guys, the first test was the first one here. It looks like it's gonna fail already. So basically what he's doing is he closed the valves and the compressor is running, and it should achieve somewhere between 16 and 29 bars. It's stuck at 8, 9, but look at that, very slow going up. As soon as the compressor started, he went pretty much straight to 8 and or 8 something, and now he's there. He's not gonna reach 16 for sure. So, do we have a bad compressor already? With these valves closed, I believe the hair is not going to the struts. It's literally just closed. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's gonna do some checks. So, I was here doing a couple checks. Going to this menu on the initial startup where I can actually activate the valves independently, up and down. And what I'm going to show you is F3. Let me come here. It's going to be difficult to show you. There's a lot of glare, but anyway, what I want to show you is when I press. So F3 is to lift the front left. F4 is to lift the front right. So when I press F4, this side should go up, and you can see nothing happens. Sorry, I'm wrong here. Sorry. F3 should lift the front left, and as you can see, nothing happens. F5 should lift the front right. Can you see the car actually lowering when I press F5? And F3, nothing happens. And when I press F5, just in case if I'm on the wrong place, I should now, F5 should lift this side, and nothing happens. I could actually swear the car is, every time I press this, is actually lowering. So there is something wrong in this. I'm really gonna have to get to that block because I can definitely hear a leak every time the valve opens. When I press the lift, it should obviously, I think, sends the car up as the pump runs, and that is not happening. So we're gonna have a look at that. Okay, so I've been walking around a little bit, checking stuff with the Maxis, and I should have done this probably before the last clip. But basically, what is happening is every time I press to raise the car on, especially the front, when I press raise, so you press to raise the car, and as soon as you press the button, the compressor starts, and you can hear the valve opening to obviously allowing the air to go to that strut to lift the car. The thing is, as soon as you press, obviously all these happens pretty much at the same time, but as soon as you press, the car actually drops, and then it starts to go up again. So it looks like there is a leak somewhere, and then when you press, the leak actually allows the car to drop, and then the compressor kicks in and obviously compensates for that. So I'm pretty much 100% sure there is a leak in there, and we're gonna have to go there and have a look. I didn't want to really go under the car, but there's no other option. So it looks like that's why it's happening. That's why I was saying you press the res and it actually drops, and it does drop. But then, because the compressor only runs for a few seconds, that is pretty much not enough to raise the car again, or just about to where it was before. So you are there pressing to raise the car, and the car is actually always on the same level, because it drops, and then the compressor is a little bit. Let's kind of go find out where this leak is. I would like to start by apologizing that when I said the compressor was flooded, he spoke with me about this car so many times that I got completely confused. What he found completely flooded was actually the motor for the boot, for the hydraulic boot, not the compressor. I got completely mistaken. I do apologize for that. I don't know how I'm going to edit the video, if I'm going to cut that part, and then I don't know yet, but just in case I'll mention this. Now, I ran into issues straight away. So this front sensor, guys, is bad. First of all, I don't think the sensor should be like this. Okay, I might be wrong, but I don't think it should. The sensor, the lever, this is completely corroded in there, completely seized up. So this is two like sort of ball joints. If that makes any sense, I'm going to show you this. So you can see in there at the top, it moves okay, but the bottom is seized, look. Which means when this goes up and down, rather than actually move the lever, it's just going to do this. It's going to bend, because that is not going to twist, and it's going to bend the arms. So that's a problem in there already. Now we're going to have to rectify, because I'm pretty sure they shouldn't be twisted like this. I might be wrong, but I don't think they should be. So all these is going to give you the wrong levels, and the car is just going to struggle to reach any level that it needs. So damn it, that's the first problem. Let's gonna check the other side, just curiosity. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be like this. Well, it shouldn't be seized for sure, because it's just gonna twist the arm, obviously, rather than actually proper reeds. So maybe that this is one of the issues to start with. And I already checked. Look at the difference to that one in there. This one is a little bit as well, but this one is kind of moving freely, yeah. Although the bottom is also seized up a little bit, but it's not as bad. But as you can see, it's just only a small curve. Okay, and I'll show you the other one again. Need to see how bad that one actually is. Look at that one. Wow. Okay, let's gonna lubricate this, try to straighten those things, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult, even if I need to use some heat maybe to get them straight. Right, let's gonna see how we're gonna do this, and actually check the rear ones as well. Okay, the rear ones, they are not as bad, but they are started to bend as well. Can you see the curve? They are seized at the bottom. I already checked. At least this one is seized right there. So we're going to overhaul all this. The other one actually looks completely straight, but this one, it starts to curve as well. You can already see. So obviously, when the car goes up, that arm is supposed to do this, and because it's seized, it's just going to try to push that way. Starts the bending that plastic thing. Wow, 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 wow. Let's gonna start then. So the first one is removed. So here it moves kind of freely. Here is completely seized. It doesn't move at all. It's completely seized up. Now looking at this, looks like this curve here is actually part of it, but then down here, definitely, as you've seen, it was like that. You're supposed not to be like that. So let's kind of release this and carry on. It is better, much better. So it's moving freely, actually too freely, and this one as well. So lubricate everything and then just repeat the process on all four of them. Okay, and just by cleaning that, I'm going to put a picture here now from where this lever was before we released this. As you can see, it moves freely now. I'm going to put a picture now where it was before and where it is now. Obviously you can see now, look where it was before. You see the difference? So the car, can you see the difference on the reading of the level of the car before and after? So yeah, that would make a massive difference. So And obviously the car's still jacked up. I haven't changed anything. Just by releasing this, can you see where the lever has moved to? So yeah, let's gonna do these on all 4 wheels and then see what the car does. Okay, and I just keep running into issues with this system. Right, so this pipe here is the pipe that comes from here, from the filter, which is right here at the back. Okay, now the filter has a little bit of hose. So this hose here goes inside, turns around through the filter, then comes all the way around and it fits the compressor. Can you see those cracks in there? And there is a leak because I'm going to blow in there. I want you to hear it. I'm going to blow up here before the filter. See if I can. Can you hear it? So it is leaking here, which is no good to start with. Let's kind of rectify this, cut it off and just plug it back in to start with. So let me show you how it is. It's completely gone through. Okay, just checked, no more leaks. So all I've done is cut it after that elbow, twist it. It's more than enough, really. And now when I blow here, there's no leaks. So that's the first. But this leak here would not really make much of a difference because this is before the compressor, is the feed to the compressor. Now the issue is if we have leaks after the compressor, which I think I want to check as well. And again, every time I run this pump to do tests, I can swear I can hear a leak here somewhere. I don't know where, but there is a leak. Guys, I might be wrong, but I swear I can hear a leak here somewhere. Okay, so I removed the compressor, which was the hose that would go here in this corner first. And there's hair coming out through there. Now, am I wrong, or I should not have nothing leaking here because the valves that goes to the struts, the hoses, they are closed. So I should not get anything leaking there, I think. Unless, oh, hold on, unless it's the reservoir. It might be the hair coming from the reservoir. Yeah, it might be. It might be that. Okay, so opened it, remove this valve. There's a little bit of water. You can see the marks where the water has been. I've cleaned it already a little bit. The valve looks okay. We're gonna test it. Apply 12 volts to it. Make sure it's opening and closing. And if it is, put everything back on. Okay, remove this valve at the back. Here is a little bit of water, as you can see. Not sure, is this supposed to move back and forwards? What's supposed to be happening here? It's gonna remove everything, lubricate, and go from there. Okay, so found that this seal here is all cracked. Look at there. Can you see all the cracks? Look at that. So yeah, I'm not sure, but there is a possibility that we have a leak here. So see if I have one of these and get it replaced. So all done. I was afraid that the seal would pop out here on the side, but as you can see, it's all sitting properly. Nothing popped out. Okay, because I didn't have this seal, so I had to use, which one I've used? I think I've used this one. As you can see, it's slightly different, but once stretched around there, obviously it was thicker, but it's sealed okay. It's been pushed in, and I think it's alright. It's not going to be leaking. So happy with the result. Don't know if I'm going to open anything else on this. Let me think. Okay, and why not dismantle the rest of it? Okay, be careful with this canister here, because if you spill this, you're gonna be in trouble. Okay, you have a lot to catch. Anyway, I'll just remove this cover to make sure this filter here, we're gonna give it a quick blast, but loads of water. I had a few that dropped in there. Let's gonna clean this, but this looks okay anyway. So we're gonna give it a clean and go from there. I remove this cover here, make sure these plates are sitting properly. You can see they don't move when I touch them. They were slightly moving at the start, so I kind of bend them a little bit, make sure they are in place. But we didn't really have problem with the compressor, I think, but give a good clean, go from there. Right, this took some time. I ended up by pulling the bumper forward because I could definitely hear a leak somewhere, and it took me up to now to find out where the leak was or is. This housing is cracked. You're not going to be able to see it. There is a crack. I'm going to try to show you this, but there is a crack here. Okay, and it's leaking. You can't really, you're not going to be able to see it. There is a crack in this body. Something happened and the body is cracked. I don't know. It's that small, and it only starts to leak when it gets really under pressure. I don't think I'm going to be able to seal this, to be honest with you. Yeah, I can see a naked eye when you look right there. You can't really see on camera. There is a crack. Here, right on the edge. Right on this edge here. There's a small crack. And I can feel it with my finger on the inside. But I don't think I'll be able to seal this, I guess. Let me think what to do. I came here inside the car with the camera purely for you guys, because I know there is a crack. I can feel the crack with my finger. If I pass my finger inside this thingy, I'm going to try to show you, because it took me a long time to find this. I could hear the leak. I sprayed some WD-40 around it, and I could see her blowing, but I couldn't see this because this is so tiny. Let's see if I can put it there on the camera. There we go. Can you see it? There we go. There it is. Can you see that? That is where the pump, where this bit is cracked, as you can see. Okay, so it finishes in there, comes all the way there. Can you see it? There we go. Right, so obviously on the outside, because the crack is right there in this area here, I couldn't really see it. It's very difficult to see because it's right in, but then from the inside you can see it. But it took me a little bit to find these out, guys. I don't know if I can fix this. I think I have a plan, even if it's just for us to get this going for now. Then you can replace the unit. I have an idea. I'm gonna try it. Okay, and I think I came up with something. So that white stuff in there is like a plastic thingy. It comes is like it comes on 2 syringes together, and it comes with the activator, and then obviously the material, and then you mix them together. You have about 10 minutes to use it. So what I've done in there is I didn't just put that on top. With the soldering iron, I made a groove all along that crack, taking plastic off, and I made it about 1 millimeter deep. And once I had that sort of channel where the crack was, I just filled it with this. So all the pressure is going to be from the inside. So that should do. Nevertheless, I'm going to use a Jubilee clip all the way around here to hold this tight, so it doesn't try to carry on with the pressure, carry on opening and crack that plastic again. As I said, even if he does enough to prove and to get us this going for now, then we'll be happy to him to replace it. I think it's going to work, and I think it's going to last, but time will tell. So here it is, and the plastic inside was pretty much set. So I've just closed the unit, and I put this Jubilee clip, as I said, to hold this all in place so it doesn't force it to move, which is what was happening before. As soon as you get to about 6 bars, it would start to leak. So put everything back on and test again. That first test that we did, that failed, and see if I get any leaks in there. Okay, everything is back on. and we're gonna run this test again, the one that failed last time. So key on. Let's see if we get the right pressure now. I think it's different now, isn't it? Okay, and I could hear it leaking. Try the second time and it's not reaching the 16 bars anymore. It's leaking again, I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it on the camera. He did it one time and that was it. And that's it, guys. I've tried. At least I can't feel guilty for not trying. Tried to fix, it didn't work. I just don't know. I've been looking at this, see if I could figure out a way of sealing this from the inside, just similar to what we did, but it is a lot of pressure. I don't know, it is a lot of pressure, and even if we get it to go, I just feel that I'm wasting my time, really. So I spoke with the owner. I told him he's gonna have to buy a new unit. Either you'll buy a second hand or a new unit, is up to him. But that's it. I'm gonna wait for the new pump, then we'll put it in place. Then we will do the initial startup to get the car leveled, and that's about it, really. So unfortunately this time didn't work. Okay, and a few days later we have the new pump. Is not a original Mercedes pump, or whoever makes this is one of those, I believe, aftermarket ones. Looks the same. Yeah, that's gonna fit in there. I'm not gonna swap parts around, even though the only problem with the other pump is obviously this chamber here. I'm not gonna start to dismantle this. It's gonna go in one piece, so we're gonna push this or pull this bumper forward again, plug it in, do a test and make sure we have no leaks, and then we'll be able to level the car and calibrate the suspension. I still need, however, to release the two linkages at the back. I haven't done those yet, done only the front, so before that we'll need to do that. But for now, let's gonna put this in, run a test and make sure we have no leaks. Okay, and as soon as I put it in, the pump is running. Is raising the car right now. You might be able to see. Don't know where up to. Oh, he stopped now. There we go. It's stopped. So you raise the car to a quite high level, I think. Don't know if this is the right high or not. But as I said, I'm just going to do a quick test to make sure we have a completely different response this time, and then we'll try to calibrate the suspension. Okay, and while Star loads, if you watch my videos, or you might watch my videos, at some point I changed the tool from the Max Assist to this, and I just carried on working with it. My fault is gone, so I can now, which obviously without the compressor you could not do it, I can now change like suspension. I can raise the car if I want. I'm not going to do it now because I need to level the car first. Not level the car, as I said, we're going to do the test first, and then we're going to release those links on the back, and then yes, I will be leveling the car. Okay, let's gonna go to control unit here. That must be in the chassis, maybe. Airmatic, there it is. Leakage test between, I think it was that one, wasn't it? Okay, there we go. So pressure wheel for 5 seconds, all valves are shut, and the compressor must generate a pressure of 12 bars within 40 seconds. The other one was actually saying 16 to 20, wasn't it? might be wrong. On a sealed system, the pressure might only sink of a maximum of 2 bars within 60 seconds. Okay, that's gonna do it. Look at that. Beautiful. I can hear no leaks anyway. We've seen that body cracked. We knew it was a massive leak in there. So now it's going to see how much leakage it's going to get. As you can see, the leakage is minimum. There we go, and that's our result. All good. Let's just go back, delete the fault codes. Yeah, that's fine. Ignition on. There we go. Let's start it again. Okay, and now, as I said, I'm going to release those linkers at the back, and then we'll do a calibration. So I got the car on the ramps, and as you can see, that link already starts to bend. It's completely seized at the bottom. It doesn't move, look. Completely seized. And the same with that one in there. Completely seized up. So we are going to remove both and see what we can do. Okay, so all done at the back, all freed up, all moving freely, absolutely spot on. Quick check, no fault code. Still, the engine is running, by the way. As soon as I dropped the car from the ramps, with everything freed up, the car raised up a little bit, more than it was before. Let's gonna look at actual values just to see, compare. You need to go back and watch at the beginning how it was. So let's gonna go to vehicle level. So this is slightly different now, as you can probably see. There's a little bit of a difference here. Maybe the car is not 100% leveled. I measured from with a tape from the center of the wheel to the bottom of the wheel arch, and it is different at the front, so the car might not be 100% leveled. Hence those 10mm difference. But let's gonna do a few couple things before we do anything. Let's gonna do reset the operation time. Is a new compressor in there, so there we go. So let's gonna do this. You see? Okay, so compressor has been reset. What I want to do next, I don't think we need to do any more tests. We know everything else is good. Let me see. I should have the car 100% leveled. But let's gonna do one thing, because I think you can actually do an initial startup with the oh dear. I'm gonna have to get the car outside on the road on a level surface to do this. Hey guys, and that's done. Because I can't get the car 100% even here on the road, I can't really get the car 100% leveled. It should be on a flatbed, to be honest. What I've decided to do is I've calibrated the car by the stored values, as you can see in there. It ended successfully. That was the final values, so pretty good, really. Quite happy where it is. I will show you the car on the outside. Okay, just drove the car back inside on the driveway. Really happy with how the car sits. Sits really well. Everything here is working, so the comfort and the sport. If I press that, it will raise the car all the way up, etc, etc. The compressor no longer runs all the time, obviously. And I think that's it, really. In the end, a bad compressor, as we have seen. And we traced the fault down, rectified the fault, and that's it. Only waiting now for the sensor, and well, you'll see the video, and that's the last problem to resolve on this car, and we'll be completely fault free. So that's it, really. With no further ado, guys, really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you'll learn something. If you have any comments, any questions, please put them below, and like always, thanks for watching.